Greetings, class. Welcome once again to English 101 for the fall 2024 school term at Gateway Community College. This is a quick overview for those of you who are either new to Gateway, maybe new to Canvas, or new to online learning. It's just a walkthrough to help you get oriented so you know just how to proceed in this 12-week course. So let's get right to it. I'll put myself up here in the corner so we can go over this home page. Let me get my goggles on here. There is my email. This is our course section 36314. There's my name, my email. You notice there's no office hours listed here because this is an asynchronous online course, meaning I'm available to meet with you at your convenience. You just have to reach out to me and we will arrange a meeting either via Zoom or Google Meets, or maybe even this big blue button, which is how we will arrange to do our teacher-student meeting for Unit 2. But let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. So this course, once again, is a 12-week course starting tomorrow, September 23rd, and going through December the 12th. How this course works is divided into 4 blocks, 4 essays, with a final reflection paper for that finals week. And you click on the modules for the assignment, your discussions, and the files that you will need. So roughly, it's you should plan to spend 4 to 8 hours a week writing, reading, and completing our assignments. The writing process and due dates. This course is a writing course, so midweek rough drafts or peer edits may be due, allowing time for edits and revisions to take place. Please keep up with the due dates. They come hot and heavy, especially initially, as points will be deducted or lost for late work. So four projects, and the first section is a multimodal or multi-genre, I should say, personal essays. The second project is an opinion editorial that you'll often see in a newspaper. The third project is a speech or writing as communication. You have both a written speech and, of course, you will record that speech. And then the final section, Project 4, is an argument analysis. So in our syllabus here, make sure you read that over, and there is a place for you to sign off that you have, in fact, read the syllabus and accept it. And there is AI is the future, right? But it's not going to be an element in our class, at least not for the first 3 writing projects. For the argumentative paper, I will allow some limited use for AI, but of course it can't write your stuff for you. All right, so make sure you start here in the modules tab, start here, and you will see at the top, in addition to the welcome, and how this course works, which I have already gone over a little bit. You'll see these tabs, the major essays. Again, there are 4 of them. And MLA and APA guides. We will be focusing on MLA for the first 3 writing essays. And for that argumentative essay, we will switch to APA. So you just have an experience with both of those. And they're very minor differences. There's a tab for the writing process, and then tips for success online. So being a left-handed fellow, I like to go at things a little backwards. So let's start with what's last here. Tips for success online. You must check the course daily. Like I said, especially initially, assignments are almost every night. So they come hot and heavy. So check the course daily, keep abreast, keep on it. Read the announcements, please, or the videos that I share. Read and respond to course email messages as needed. So that's professionalism on your part. Complete assignments by the due dates specified. Communicate regularly with me and your peers as necessary. And make sure you create a study and or assignment schedule to stay on track. That's your key for success. And a little review of the writing process. I'm a writer myself. I'm writing a book currently, and I still turn to the Purdue Writing Lab for assistance. So Purdue University has this excellent OWL Writing Lab, they call it, OWL, and it is available to you as well as me. So utilize that. So the stages of the writing process, right, they kind of reflect my teaching philosophy, and that's can be summed up in those three key words: fresh, eloquent, professional. So the brainstorming element, when you're first, engaging with a piece, that's when you keep it fresh. You don't worry about spelling and punctuation and perfection. And then a second element in that freshness is outlining, sort of making some sense of that brainstorming that you've done. And then, of course, you have the rough draft. And that's when the eloquence comes in. And then it's time for you to revise and edit your rough draft. So this is a recursive process, right? You take a couple steps out, you take a breather, you come back, you think it over again, you take a little bit further, you come back. So it's recursive. It repeats itself quite a bit. So what's the difference between revising and editing? Revising lets you look at your paper in terms of your topic, your ideas, your audience, and you may add more paragraphs or remove paragraphs. It's more holistic to better fit. In a word, revising means that you organize your writing better in a way that your audience can understand your writing better. Editing typically means that you're going over your writing to make sure that you do not have any grammatical errors or strange phrases that make it difficult for your readers to understand what you're trying to say. And you can also, utilize programs like Grammarly to help you with mechanics and such. And then the last component in professionalism is polishing your writing, getting it ready for either submission or publication or sharing in some fashion. So that's a quick overview of the writing process. These are the MLA and APA guides. Again, you don't have to worry about the APA guide until our final essay, Unit 4. And for the first three, we will be utilizing MLA. What it comes down to is really using signal phrases and then how to cite your authors, right? So a signal phrase is something like the author said, right? In this case, Wordsworth stated that romantic poetry was marked by a, quote, spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings. And because you've already mentioned the author in your signal phrase, like you should, in your in-text citation, you just need the page number. And you notice the period only goes after the in-text citation. Another way of doing that same thing is romantic poetry is characterized by the spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings, and Wordsworth said that on page 263. The third example, Wordsworth extensively explored the role of emotion in the creative process. This is a summary of what Wordsworth said, but you still need to cite your summaries. So whether it's a direct quote or a paraphrase in your own words or a summary, you still need to use in-text citations. All right, that's a quick overview of those, and now we will get to the meat of the matter. Writing Project 1 is a multi-genre personal writing, and this is intended to be fun for me to get a sense of you as a character, as a human being, as a young scholar, an aspiring professional. And it consists of, I think, about 6 or 7 multi-genre projects, including some quizzes. So there's your chance to write a professional bio, to write a nonfiction story that focuses on dialogue. So nonfiction means a true story that emphasizes dialogue, but it also has to have that short story rising action that reaches the climax and then some sort of falling action. A little assignment here on music, your taste in music, a letter to someone who has meant something to you, something positive to you over the years, perhaps. A quick little assignment on what you know or what you think you know for sure. And then assignment 7, which is the biggest lift of all of these assignments, but it's a mental health blog. right? So it's kind of like a personal blog where you address this question: are 20-year-olds, 20-plus-year-olds supposed to be this unhappy? So you need to read a editorial or two that I've provided, and you can select one of your own. And then you're going to create a blog post in a similar length, so roughly 2 pages, that has a format just like the Psychology Today blog shared below here. And then the last component, so you notice all these minor assignments are worth 20 points. 20 points, the quizzes are worth 20 or 25. But then the final assignment, which you can consider sort of the greatest hits for this multi-genre unit, is going to be a slideshow that features clips of all these preceding 7 assignments. I've skipped over this assignment 7.1, but this is just your chance to edit and revise your blog post, where you select 10 sentences from your blog, show the original, and then give it some kind of revision. And you can use either of these editing tools if you wish. So that's a quick overview of Writing Project 1. And you notice the first assignment is due Tuesday night, and the last one is due just shortly thereafter. So it's in a 2-week chunk. We're going to buzz through this Writing Assignment 1. Writing Project 2 is an opinion editorial where you write an essay, an opinion editorial that shares your opinion on some topic of your choice. So you have to analyze an op-ed to get familiar with what we're talking about here. You have a topic selection and sources based on this case study site right here. Excuse me. And then there's a chance for you to have a peer review. Okay. So you have to read a case study, something that does something for you on justice in schools, and then you have to respond to that case study in your own essay, opinion editorial. You need to select an audience, an ideal audience for this assignment, and then you have an opportunity to rough draft and editing. We're going to have a conference, and that's assignment 12. We're going to meet for 15 or 20 minutes at some particular point right around this date. There'll be a few dates before and after this date. And then you're going to revise and publish your blog post. So you have a little experience with blogs up here in Writing Project 1. You're going to deepen that experience in Writing Project 2. And before I get too far ahead of ourselves, we're Writing Project 3. So this is a Writing Project 2, I believe, is a 2 or 3 week assignment. Writing Project 3 is roughly that same amount, 2 to 3 weeks. And this is a speech. So you have to start with a journal discussion, like a brainstorm about a quote that I provide based on your last name, or your last initials, I should say. And you can find that right at the top here. So at the overview, again, we're Writing Project 3. Sorry to jump around a little bit here. But based on your first initial of your last name, that'll dictate what quote you select, and that's where you have to start. That's where you have to write your speech about. All right, so again, Writing Project 3. So after the journal discussion, you have to utilize some rhetorical devices, target an audience, write the actual speech. You have to revise it for my review. So you're sort of resubmitting this twice. And then the final draft will be also both a written speech and a recorded speech. So an audio recorded speech. You don't have to have a video recording. Then the last writing project is argumentation, right? An argumentative essay, which I'm sure you've had experience with in high school. And we'll talk about that a little more in depth when we reach it around about mid-November. So that's a quick overview. Please let me know if you have any questions. I am here to help you succeed in this course. And good luck. Ciao.